Welcome back, YouTube, to the Honestly Basketball YouTube channel. I had to boot it up for this. The Denver Nuggets are advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time after sweeping the Los Angeles Lakers. There is so much to talk about. Yeah, so I'm just going to get straight into it. First off, before we go into anything, congrats to the Nuggets. I think, you know, one seed in the regular season, and I don't even think people gave them the respect that they deserve because they didn't really watch Nuggets games. Because if you watched Nuggets games, you knew the Nuggets were like that. Um, and throughout these playoffs, they've been dominating. But far, in my opinion, the best team, I'm gonna pick them rather if it's Miami, which is that's obviously more likely, or Boston. I think the Nuggets are gonna have the better chance to win that series. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Shout out to the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic with some crazy performances. He was my pick for MVP. Jamal Murray, he was doing his thing, and Aaron Gordon on second here. I'm gonna get into all that later. But for the first topic, what I'm saying, we got to talk about Game 4. And I'm recording this during the press conference. I'm watching the Lakers press conference just because I want to see what they got to say after getting eliminated. But yeah, so Game 4, the Lakers started off hot. I think this was a theme throughout the entire series where it was a battle of runs. Lakers would be up by like 8 points or whatever. Nuggets would go on a run, and then the Nuggets, which obviously came on top every game. So it was really interesting to watch. And in this Game 4, Nikola Jokic with another crazy performance had the go-ahead bucket. He finished with 30 points, 14 boards, 13 assists, 3 blocks, a steal. He was just going stupid. He had a crazy shot that's probably going to go down in like Denver Nuggets history. One leg just threw it up behind his head from deep in the fourth quarter. Splash at the end of the shot clock. It was actually really good defense by Anthony Davis, which I think is something that they did a lot of. I think the Lakers defense was actually pretty good down the stretch, but I mean, just not good enough. Obviously, because I think LeBron, he had a really good play on Jamal Murray. They played some good defense on Jokic down the stretch. And that last possession leading up to the final play with Jamal Murray going to that left side. Great defense to give them a chance to keep their season alive. But just it wasn't enough. The Nuggets executed good. And I do want to give props, like I said, Aaron Gordon. I put it out on Twitter. I think he is the most underrated player in the league, and I'm gonna compare him. Their playstyles have been different, but like Andrew Wiggins from last year for the Warriors, everybody needs that guy. Um, Lock up on defense. Think about the matchups he had. He had a Cat in the first round, against Minnesota. Then in the second round, when they played against Phoenix, he had, rather if it's Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, he had one of them. Then now guarding LeBron and doing a very good job. I know LeBron had 40, but obviously that final possession, him and Jamal Murray played great defense. And then making him hit the side of the backboard on the possession before. Aaron Gordon has been really good, and he only averaged like 8 points a game. Didn't hit a three all series. Came in, finished the game 3 for 5 from three, hitting some timely shots. He finished with 22 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 64% from the field. He was really good, playing some physical, great defense. Rather if it was on LeBron, on D'Lo, getting a switch on Anthony Davis. He was all over the place, and I think I'm comparing with Andrew Wiggins. That's my Warriors bias coming at me. Everybody needs that great defender who's going to do the dirty work. I don't think Aaron Gordon's quite, grabbing rebounds like Wiggins. But, he's also a lot more physical. But everybody just needs that guy to step up, to that role player, like Wiggins. And Aaron Gordon has been phenomenal. And again, for the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic this series has been on some crazy stuff, averaging like a 30-point triple-double, so far in these playoffs. Go back to my Warriors. In the King series, Warriors Kings, when Steph Curry was doing what he was doing, he had that 50-point game 7. I was saying like this is the best player in the world. This is the best basketball player in the world. But since look now, I'm gonna say that for Nikola Jokic. You know, I can go either way with Curry or Jokic as far as who is the best player in the world because Nikola Jokic, LeBron said in his post game, he's gonna hit some crazy stuff. He can play great defense on him, you know, and he's physical. He's make shots, but it's his mental game. You know, the way he can depict a game, pick apart a defense. He's always 2 steps ahead. I think that just makes him so special, and he's the most talented big man on the offensive side of the ball that we've ever seen. And Jamal Murray, he averaged 32 points a game this series, which is absolutely crazy, which is another testament to Nikola Jokic, who, although Jamal Murray averaged 30 something points a game, 32 points a game, Nikola Jokic still won Conference Finals MVP, becoming the second ever person to win that award. So yeah, that shows just how cracked the Nuggets are, how great Nikola Jokic is. So yeah, that's another thing. But Jamal Murray, 25 in the closeout game. You know, he did get stopped on that last possession, but I mean, besides that, he didn't quite get the 3 ball down. I think he finished, yeah, he was 0 for 4 looking at the stats now. And this is a game where, you know, in general, the Nuggets weren't splashing threes besides Aaron Gordon, I guess. You know, Jokic 3 for 6, but like MPJ, like 3 for 10, which is something that he hasn't done often, especially in these playoffs. Michael Porter Jr. actually game 3 had a career high 6 assists. But yeah, Bruce Brown didn't even hit one. Jeff Green didn't even attempt one. So I think they're gonna get better shooting games. They were 12 for 33, 36%, which isn't terrible. But especially from you're looking at guys like Bruce Brown, who stepped up in the playoffs, he's gonna hit at least 1 3. Michael Porter Jr. is gonna shoot better than 30%. And I, you know, I don't think Aaron Gordon's gonna shoot 60% from 3 every game, but I think this is just such a good sign for Nuggets fans to get through a Lakers team that I think was very underrated. People are laughing at Kendrick Perkins, although he had some stupid takes saying the Lakers could go to the conference finals. He was getting laughed at. You know, this Lakers team is really like that. As far as what's next for the Lakers, I don't know. You know, the first thing that comes up to mind after LeBron James, I just want to let's just appreciate LeBron. 38 years old, 40 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. He tried. He had a crazy, I think he had 31 in the first half, which is the most he's ever had in a playoff half. You know, slowed it down, wasn't as good as the second, but I mean, he tried. You know, it's just that final possession, man. Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray played some great defense on LeBron there, but yeah, he tried. Anthony Davis, bro, 6 for 15. He was really non-existent at the end of the game. In that fourth quarter, he wasn't really on nothing. So, you know, I feel like he was disappointing. Let me just say that. And I think that's not something you want out of a guy who, when you traded all these draft picks for him, you wanted him when, like, so LeBron, he's aging. He should not have to drop 40 for them to have a chance. You want AD to step up. Although AD did have some, you know, great defensive plays, he just needs to be more aggressive. 15 shots isn't bad, but I mean, 6 for 15 just not good enough, especially in an elimination game back against the wall. You got to play with more of a sense of urgency, and he just didn't have that tonight. And as far as the season for a whole for the Lakers, you got a first-year head coach in Darvin Ham, who actually, you know, obviously rookie head coach, rookie coaching staff, you know, very good bringing them to conference finals, making these trades at the trade deadline. And he made some good rotational changes, and he wasn't scared to make those changes. He wasn't a very stubborn coach, whether if it's bringing in, putting Lonnie Walker into the rotation after that game 4, you know, against Golden State, or giving Tristan Thompson minutes, who actually had some very good minutes. He was getting and one dunks, playing good defense, switching on to guards and holding his own against guys like Jamal Murray, forcing missed shots. Just making those small rotational changes where some coaches would stay stubborn, stay with what they know, and not really make changes there. But Darvin Ham, huge credit to him. But they just can't get the job done. And then back to the Nuggets. They get 9 days off before the NBA Finals, which is a crazy amount of time. Although low-key might only be one more day than the Heat if they finish their series out against Boston, who just looks terrible. But yeah, Denver, they deserve it. They were clearly the better team in this series. I think they've been the best team, like I said, all playoffs. And it's just how they're constructed. I think when you're building a team around Nikola Jokic, this is everything you could want. But yeah, that's all I really got. I think this is a series that the Lakers shouldn't have gotten swept in, because even I didn't think they're gonna get swept. I thought they should have gotten at least one. Especially after that game one. I wasn't going on Twitter because I seen some crazy tweets talk about after game one the Nuggets should count it as a loss because Darvin Ham found out about Rui Hachimura on Jokic and Anthony Davis as a help defender and how they kind of figured out Denver. But obviously none of that mattered. Denver still came out victorious in this 4-game sweep. I think that's all I got on this series. I think I'm gonna do more on the Lakers offseason after the finals, and I think I'm gonna do more on the Nuggets once the Heat officially win that series, and I'm gonna do a full finals preview here on this channel. But other topics, Carmelo Anthony retired, just announced his retirement. Hell of a career, one of the greatest scorers of all time, 9th on the all-time scoring list. For sure, Hall of Famer, All NBA 75 player. Enjoy retirement, Melo. And then this Boston series, bro, is another thing I want to talk about. Sheesh. I don't know what to say. Jimmy Butler didn't even have to go crazy. He put up 16 points. God, I want to see how the rest of the series plays out before I really go all out on the Jays, Joe Mazzulla, who I think should get the blame. Because I do think Joe Mazzulla, they're saying that they're going to make him pay for going down 3-0, whatever that means. But yeah, I think Joe Mazzulla does get some blame, but I think most of it should go on the Jays in a game where you go 12 for 36, throw for 35. In a game 7, essentially, because you don't want to go down 3-0 with game 4 in Miami. And just they played with no heart. It was like they couldn't get any sort of rhythm. They were playing with no intensity, no sense of urgency, and they were just not good. They made Gabe Vincent look like a superstar. He shot like I think 6 for 9 from 3. And it was just these role players that are stepping up, and Boston has no answer. I think Joe Mazzulla is coaching down the stretch, or his system. Because, I saw Marcus Smart speak on it, how their offense just kind of happens. They don't really have many plays. And I think in games and in series where your backs are against the wall, that's not really a good thing. Because, they started chucking up threes. They attempted 12 threes in the third quarter and made like 3 of them. It's bad for the Celtics fans, but just wait till Miami closes the series out. Rather if it's in game 4, game 5, whenever, there's going to be a lot of talk about the Boston Celtics. And then for the future of this channel, I know I took 2 months off. There's been tons of stuff that have happened since, but I'm back motivated, back on this grind. Follow the other socials, to stay up to date. But that's all I got for this series. Peace.